So your nonprofit has an event and you want to be able to spin up tickets, assign that some money, some revenue, and assign that to a contact in your nonprofit CRM. No problem. With HubSpot, we can do that. You can spin up a landing page and a form. You can assign that to a campaign so you can later report on how all of those efforts went into your event, whether it's a virtual event, an in-person event, at a historic site, maybe if you're a museum, or at a town hall if you're a nonprofit. You can set that up in HubSpot, pretty straightforward. So in this demo, we're going to show you how event ticketing and HubSpot can work together so you can do things like measure the ROI of your efforts. Okay, so here is how we think about event ticketing and HubSpot, how it works, how we can actually look at things like ROI if we're doing paid events. So one of the first places I want to start is forms. Now this form right here we've spun up, and this is what it looks like behind the scenes. We've got register for our upcoming event. You can see what it is, what we're asking for there in the first part of the form. Second part of the form, we ask them for more information. And then the final step is, yay, you've registered, check your email. Okay. So that's the first step. We need a form to put onto a landing page. Now in this form, I want to make sure that we are tying this to an event. Now, if this form is used on multiple event campaigns, maybe we don't add it to a campaign here, okay? But if this form is for events and we're trying to measure our events overall, then it can go into this marketing campaign. We'll talk more about campaigns coming up, but this is where we can add that, okay? So far, so good. So we have a form, we're asking for information, we've tied it to a campaign. Now, the next thing is we put this form on a landing page. So here's our landing pages. Now, again, we've created this, so here's what it looks like actually in real life. I'll show you the behind the scenes things here. So here it is, event ticketing in HubSpot, what actually works. That's what you're watching right now, actually. But if we're making this a live virtual workshop, look at that. It's on January 1st, whatever year that is, whatever time that is, being very generic here. But you can see that we have that form that we just created is now here. First name, last name, email. It said, oh, look, step 1 of 2. Here we go. So you would fill out, or your folks would fill out that form right there. Now behind the scenes, I'm going to go back over to our forms here, and I'm going to edit this edit this landing page. Here's a landing page where that form exists. Okay. Now we can do it whatever we want here with these. We can change the image here. This is the form that we put in here. If I click on this, it opens up the module here. Here's that form that I created. I could switch forms if I needed to, right? But here's that form. Now in the settings, up in the top right corner, I'm going to click on settings. If I scroll down here a little bit, here's all the information. Here's a meta description. We want to make sure that we have a meta description in there in our landing pages. Here is that marketing campaign again. So I've tied the form and the landing page both to this campaign. So anytime someone interacts with this marketing campaign gets a little bit of a nod. Okay, so there's that. So the form on the landing page, so far so good. We saw that live again here. If we go in to fill this out, I'm going to say this is for me. There we go. I'm going to skip the phone number. I'll click next. Oh, look at that. Digital reach, number of employees. There we go. I click submit. Now I've created that whole thing for me. So I've submitted it, and there we go. Now, the next thing here is behind the scenes, we as an organization want to be able to tie all that together into an event ticket maybe. We've got event tickets as an object in our CRM as a custom object. We want to assign that event ticket to the contact and maybe even attach some money to it. So here's a pretty straightforward workflow in HubSpot. Now workflows on the far left-hand side, here's automation, and here's workflows, okay? Now in this workflow here, I'm gonna open this up. Here's your trigger enrollment. A person has completed this specific form on this specific landing page, okay? The next step is we create a record. Here's this record here. We're gonna create an event ticket that is a custom object we have in our nonprofit CRM HubSpot. And that event ticket pulls in their first and last name, and then is the nonprofit CRM admission. That's the event that we call that, right? And we're going to actually take the last 30 days of interactions with this contact and show it also on this event ticket record. That means that any time they've viewed one of our websites in the last 30 days, anytime they've interacted with social media, we can see that on the event ticket as well. So our ticketing folks can go in there and see, oh, look, this person has been very involved with our brand or with our nonprofit, or maybe they haven't been involved at all, and this is the first time they're seeing us. That's great. So they know that. The second step here is to create a different record. This is going to be a deal record, and a deal is where we measure revenue. So we're going to take this deal and same kind of thing, first name, last name, that is dynamic, nonprofit CRM event admission. We're adding it to this specific deal pipeline, and we're adding an amount of $50. So now if 10 people sign up, that's $500 in ROI that we can measure. If it's 1,000 people at $50, that's a whole lot of money. And if we are advertising, we can eventually take away the ad budget from that profit, and we can see the true ROI. Okay. And the last step here is to give them a confirmation, right? We send them an email that is the event ticket and has all the information there that we need to. So there we go. Now, what I do want to show you is this workflow can also be assigned to a campaign. Okay. So when we click review and turn on, now this could already have been turned on potentially, or it could be needing to be turned on right now. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say yes, enroll the contacts who meet the role. Now that means one so far. So you saw me fill this out. That means that I'm going to be enrolled in this with my email if I say yes and turn this on. What I want to do is when I turn this on, I go through all these settings, and I'm not going to do that role by role here or page by page. I just want you to know when you're setting up a workflow, go through these. I'm going to click next. These are the more things I would look at. I want to click next. This is what it's related to. I'm going to click next. And here's the workflow deals. And look, here's that campaign again. So I can add this workflow, which I already have, to the demo campaign. Okay. Now I'm going to actually close this out. We're not going to turn this on. The last page I want to go to here is what's called in HubSpot Marketing Studio. Over here in Marketing, here's your Marketing Studio. And this is where we get to see our campaigns. Okay. This demo campaign here that we were talking about, this is where I've tied all this information to. Click these three dots and I can see view performance and details. Opens up here and I can see the activity going on. I can see the budget and edit that. I can see the actual performance. I can look at attribution. So in the performance here, maybe I have a goal of $20,000 for the specific campaign. Over the year, we're having several events. I want to raise $20,000 as my profit. Great, I can add that as a goal. Or maybe I have different goals too. I can do that. And it doesn't have to be just money. Here's the ROI, so money. What we've spent, how much we brought in revenue. So that's why we make that deal record, so we can measure that and go on and so on and so forth. Now, again, this is obviously a demo. There isn't a ton of information in here, but you can see we can start to look at things like influenced contacts, the web sessions. This is only in a particular time frame. Where are they in their life cycle stage? That could be things like customer, right? That's a very B2B type thing. So in your life cycle stages, that might be your constituent life cycle. It might be your supporter life cycle. That is certainly customizable in HubSpot, which is the beauty of HubSpot as a customizable nonprofit CRM platform. We can customize the verbiage. That is very B2B focused. Doesn't have to be. So that is how you can take an event that you're hosting, right? Have some ticketing for it and have it all show up in your nonprofit CRM in HubSpot. So you can see what your ROI is, what you spent on advertising, what you brought in for your tickets. And that is how it all works together so nicely. So there you have it, taking your events and putting them into HubSpot so that you can do things like measure your return on investment. Maybe you're spending money on ads on social media and you want to see how many folks sign up for your event. Maybe it's in person. Maybe it's at a historical site if you're a museum. Maybe it's a live virtual event like a webinar that you're educating folks on as a nonprofit. Whatever the reason is, you can take this nonprofit CRM, HubSpot that we love so much, create a landing page, assign that to a campaign, and measure the effects of your promotion and advertising and marketing. That's all done through HubSpot. So you've seen that in the demo. We appreciate you watching. When it's time to ask more questions, let us know here at Nonprofit Tech Shop what we can do to help you set this up or explore other parts of HubSpot in your nonprofit CRM journey. Go to nonprofittechshop.com for more information, even set up a call with our team. And don't forget, as always, to subscribe to YouTube here. Check out more of our videos, hit like and subscribe and share all that good stuff so other folks just like you can learn how HubSpot can be their nonprofit CRM.